Okay. Now this is the first program in part 3. Now how to do this program is this program has two classes. It is given over here. Develop a Java program that includes the following: A and B. A is a class and B is a class. Now let's start from A. We start from a public class circle. Then you have to write a public class circle. Directly write public class circle. Open the class, open the bracket, open the class. Then after that has a private instance variable double radius. Private instance variable called double radius. So you have to write private double radius. This is the instance variable. Then moving ahead, it has a 0 argument constructor that set the value of the radius to 1.0. Now here coming the point of constructor. Constructors are nothing but methods which has same name as class. So here the class is circle, your constructor is also circle. It will not take any argument, it is public, and it does not have any return type. It will not return any value. So here you have to write as public circle without any arguments. You see there is no argument here. So here you should not write any argument. Open the bracket and assign the initial value to 1 point radius. Radius is equal to 1.0 as given in the question. Moving ahead, it has a one argument constructor that set the radius to a given value. One argument constructor. Now you write again the constructor but with one argument. The same constructor but you have to add one argument. Public circle double R. This is the one argument. You can take R, X, Y, Z, it's all up to you. And that R is assigned to the radius. This radius is the instance variable. So this R is assigned to the radius, thus radius is equal to R. Then moving ahead, it asks for you a public method called getRadius for retrieving the radius. It means you have to write a method called getRadius which will return the radius. Now what is the type of radius? It is double. So the return type for getRadius is double because it is returning a double value. So you should have a return type double. So how to write that as public static double getRadius. There is no argument because it's just returning the value, it's not taking any argument. Open the bracket and say return radius. Close the bracket. This is your method. Its return type should be clear and it is returning the radius. That's what it is asked in the question. GetRadius for retrieving the radius. So when you use getRadius, it should return the radius. It should return the value radius. Then public method getArea which returns the area of a circle which is equal to pi r square. Pi r square, it means pi into r into r. Pi is a constant variable which is equal to 3.14159. Or you can use math.pi. So you have to write a method called getArea which will return this value pi into r into 2, which is also a double value. So return type for this getArea is double. So here you have to write a method called public static double getArea, and inside this you have to return what? Return math.pi into r, that is radius, into radius, that is r into r square, and you close the method. this will return the area. It will calculate the area math.pi into radius, and it will return that value back to the calling code, and its return type is double. So you should specify this, the name and what it is returning. With this, it will be your part A is done. Part A is done. Now coming to the part B. Coming to the part B. The part A is given here. Okay, in this call. Get area up to get area. It's up to the part. It is up to over here. It's part A. Now coming to the part B. Let's start the part B. So here I'll erase this part A because we have there. Now let's start writing part B. Part B says that a public class cylinder that extends circle class. So you write a public class cylinder, public class cylinder extends circle and open the bracket. So you got here the first point in B. Has one private instance variable double height. So you have to write the private instance variable as private double height. I will write just h for height. Okay, h for height. Is it okay? Moving ahead. Has a zero argument constructor that set the default value of height to 1.0. So you again write the constructor. So constructor is nothing but a method having same name as class name, and it is public, and it will not return anything. So there is no return type. So you directly write public, name of the class cylinder, no arguments. So leave it blank, open the bracket, h is equal to 1.0. Initialize the h to 1.0 and close the bracket because height is given here as 1.0. So height is 1.0. Then has a two argument constructor that set the height and radius to a given value. Now here two argument constructor. So your constructor should take two arguments, that is height and radius. Okay, height and radius. Now you should invoke the superclass one argument constructor to set the radius. To set the radius, because radius is from this class, from the superclass. So you should invoke a superclass constructor to set the radius, and height you can set there in the same class. Now how to write? Again it is a constructor with two arguments. You write the same name as a class name, public cylinder of one argument is radius, one is height. So you take both are double r for radius, comma double h1. I will take h1 because h I already taken, so there should not be any confusion. So I will take h1. Okay, now here inside this, now you have to call the superclass constructor to set r radius, and h you can set here. Now how to call it? By using a keyword called super of r. This super keyword will call the superclass constructor with a value r. And superclass constructor, there is a superclass constructor with a one argument, will take r and set the radius to r in the superclass. Yeah. Superclass. Yeah. So it is go to the superclass, and height you can set here, h is equal to h1, and close the constructor. Then moving ahead, it says has a public method called get height for retrieving the height. Now you have to write, to retrieve the height, you have to write a get method. It is public static double, return type is double because height is double, get height, and return h, that is height. Clear? Then has a public method get volume for computing and returning the volume of the cylinder, where volume equals base area into height. Use superclass method get area to get the base area. Now here you need to write a volume to calculate the volume. Volume is nothing but the area into height. Now how to get the area? You have in the superclass method called area, which will give you the area, and multiply that area with the height. That is the volume, and that you have to return. So how do you write it? Public static double get volume return what? First get the area. So you write get area. This will call the superclass method, this get area, which is radius into pi, r square into pi. Then get area into height, h. Close the bracket. This will return the value. Okay. Then after this, it says override the object toString method in order to return a string representation consisting of cylinder radius, height, base area, volume. For example, like this. You have to write a toString method. Now toString method is available in all classes by default. It is return type is string. So you write a toString method to return this radius. From where you can get the radius? By using get radius over here. Then height, from where you can get the height? By using get height. Where is it? Yeah, get height. Then base area, from where you can get the base area? By using get area. Then volume, from where you can get the volume? By using get volume. Now how to set this is you have to write all the get methods in the toString method. So to write this one, I'll write here public string, its return type is a string, toString. This is the toString method. toString, T was small 2, S capital with the string, TRING. Inside the bracket, it is returning a string. Return, first you write the string cylinder. Okay, cylinder or cylinder radius is equal to, for example, let's say like radius is equal to plus get radius. This will call the superclass get radius. Okay, you got the radius plus height is equal to plus get height. You will get the height from this class. From here, get height. Then plus area is equal to plus get area. Okay. Then plus volume is equal to plus get volume. Okay, this is the end. Which one? Cylinder? Yeah. No, it is just to display the message cylinder, so that you will get here the output cylinder radius is equal to 5, height is equal to 10. So it is just to tell it the radius is of cylinder, height cylinder. It's just a text. It's not necessary that you have to write that. It's just a text. It is just a text. This cylinder is just a text. Not necessarily. If you don't write, it will not affect. Okay, you can directly write radius is equal to get radius plus height is equal to get height plus area is equal to get area plus volume is equal to get volume. This is the two string method. This is how you will get for this 20 marks. For this you will get 20 marks. Yeah. Invoke. Super will invoke the constructor, the one argument. See, there is an argument here. It will call the one argument constructor, this one. If why not this first? Because there is no argument here. There is an argument here. So it will match with the argument one. If you don't write the argument, it will go to the first one. Clear? So this is how you solve it. The first question. Moving to the next question, it is very simple. It is reading the string and writing the string or displaying the string. So how do you read? By using the scanner class. Right? So it says write a Java program that asks the user to enter his or first name and last name as two separate inputs. And a first name is an input, last name is an input. And then concatenate the first name and the last name separated by a space. The program should finally display greeting message to the concatenated name. Example, hi Ahmad Ali. You don't need to write any import statement. Just write the code. So what you'll do, it's very simple. Write the class public class MTA question 3. Okay, then you write public static void main of string arguments. And now what is read two name, first name and the last name. To create scanner class scanner sc is equal to new scanner of system.in and then system.out.println enter first name, then string first name is equal to string, because it's a string variable, not a scanner. So you can first declare the first name string first name comma last name. So string first name is equal to sc dot next line. Sorry, you don't need a string now here. Then system dot println enter last name. Then last name is equal to sc dot next line. Then how do you concatenate this? I'll take a string full name is equal to first name plus a space between first name and the last name, a space between first name and the last name plus last name. This will concatenate and the result is in first name. Then you system.out.println hi space plus full name. Let me write as full name. Full name. This is the program. Just display that welcome full name or hi full name, whatever it is. What is given over here. A simple program. Read the text, add it, and display using the strings. It has 10 marks. The next is reading or writing to the file. Reading the file or writing to the file. So this one, it is saying that you do not need to write any import statement. No need to write the import statement here. You have to do the import. If you do the program in the system, you have to do import java.util.scanner or at least java.util.star to work this program. But in the question it is already said that no need to write any import statement. If you write or if you don't write, it does not matter. Moving ahead to the last part of this part 3, write a program to write the statement. This is easy to a text file mta.txt. Use try catch statement to handle the file not found exception and display a simple error message in case of exception happen. You do not need to write any import statement. Now you write the class. Now here you want to write something that is, this is easy to a file. So if you want to write anything to a file, writing to a file or reading to a file, there are 3 steps. First of all, let us see reading from file. Reading from file. Now how to read the file is first you create the file object. Create the file object. So you create file object by using file class. Number two, open the stream. You can use a scanner to scan the file or to retake the file. That system.scanner sc is equal to new scanner of file object. Here you are giving in your previous program, you are giving a scanner of system.in. System.in is your keyboard. So you write from the keyboard. You want to read from the file, here in the scanner place, you give the file object. So it will read from the file object, from the file. Then after this, number 3, after you finish the reading, close it. This to read by using sc.close method. This to read. And how to write? To write again, you create a file object, then open the stream by using print writer of file. You create an object of print writer, and then after you finish writing into it, then close the print writer, that is pr.close, if pr is an object of print writer. So here you have to follow the same concept over here, and you have to use try catch. So first you write the name of the class, public class, I say xyz is the name of the class. Then you write public static void main, and you have a string arguments. Then after this you have to write the write the text to the file, right? It is telling write the statement this is easy to the file. Okay. So you create a print writer object, print writer pr is equal to new print writer of the file object, or you give the path of the file c:/tma .txt as given in the question c:/tma.txt. So you write directly c:/tma.txt. Okay. Then after this you have to write what you have to write. You have to write this is easy. This is easy. Then you write it pr.println. There is a method called println of this is easy. You finish writing it, close the pr.close. Okay. Now we have to check for file not found exception. If there is no file, we have to check by using try catch. So whatever the file statements we have to put this in try block. These are all three related to the file. So we put this in try block. Try block. So you write try, open the. So how to write? You write try, open the bracket, and this comes in the bracket, close the bracket. So this is a try block. Then after try there is a catch. What catch? File not found exception. So you write catch of file not found exception E, and display the message system.out.println. A simple error message, you say error. Close the main method, close the program. This is your program. That's it. And this will carry 10 marks. So total of part 3 is for 40 marks. 10 marks for file program, 10 marks for a string, and 10 marks for the 20 marks for the classes. Total of 40 marks. This is how you solve your programs. Okay. Now this is about the mock exam. This is mock exam. It's available in your LMS. Okay. This one, general MTA mock exam. Okay, it is there in the LMS, the first one. Now from this one, let us take another program, another exam. For example, I'll take this one, or you want me to take anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'll take this one. هذا الموك اكزام. ايوه هذا السمستر. هذا السمستر موجود في LMS. So let us take the second one. Excuse me, just give me a second. I want to record this one. Go to meeting. M257 MTA Discussion. What recording is going on? Okay. What happened to this? What happened to this? Okay. So I'll take this spring exam. It's a makeup one. The first you have the multiple choice questions. Okay, I'm not going to discuss this multiple choice. Okay, it's so simple. You can work on it. Second, there are some essay questions, and there are some practical part that is traced to give the output. Okay, so I will do it from here. Trace to give the output. The first thing over here is trace the following code. What is the exact output B? Now you need to trace this code and give the output. Here the given is an array with the values array 1 with the values 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Then there is an array 2. Array 2 is assigned to array 1. It means both the array is having these values. I mean they are referring to the same values because it's a reference. So they both will refer to the same values. It means something like this. The array 1, this is array 1. It has the values 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3 up to 8. When you say array 2 is equal to array 1, means the array 1 is referencing to array 2 will also refer to the same values. Okay, then after this it says for int I is equal to 0, I less than array 2 dot length I plus plus, array 2 of I is equal to array 2 of I into 2, and you start the array from 0 to the length, that is to the 8. Then every time for every element of the array, array 2 of I, multiply by 2. For every element of the array, multiply by 2. So what you will have here, it is 1 into 2. It's 2, 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 3 into 2, 6. Yeah, up to 16. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. لا array 2 يساوي array 1. لا هنا في الكود بيقول لك هنا for int i is equal to 0 I less than int i plus plus، هذا حيمشي إلى كل الاري من بداية إلى آخر. طيب كل ما أمشي من كل الاليمنتس اضرب ب2. فarray 2 of I is equal to array 2 of I into 2. مثلا I is 0. array 2 of 0 array 2 of 0 is هذا first element. first element اضرب ب2 يعني multiply by 2. for 1 into 2 it's 2. then I يصير 1. I will become 1 مع I plus plus. array 2 of I that is 1. فاضرب هذا 1 by 2 multiply by 2 it will 4 into 2. then again I becomes 2 6. فهنا إلى آخر into 7. so into 2 فهنا becomes 16. 8 ضرب 2 16. طيب وبعدين after this for int I is equal to 0 I less than array 1 dot length I plus 2 equals I plus equals 2. now here both the array are referring to the same values. فهذا الجديد الvalues الجديد هنا هيكون هذا. for the new values for both the array 1 and array 2 will be this. so this is gone. for array 1 هنا this one it says array 1 dot length I plus equals 2 يعني أول 0 بعدين 2 4 6 8. فهنا أول 0 this is 0 this is 1 this is 2 3 4 5 6 7 up to 7. so it is 0 then 2 then 4 then 6. so what is the value at 0? it is 2. at 2 it is 6. then at 4 it is 8. then at 6 it is 12. so you get your output as it is printing what? I, array of I. Print I 0, value 2. Array of I 2. 2 6, then 4 10, then 6 14. So it will print 0 2 2 6, then 4 8 10 10, then 6 14. That's it, sir. 6 14 to print this way. So this is your output. Now here, coming to the part 3, problem solving. Problem solving will be 3 problems. One is of string, number 2 of files, and number 3 is of classes. Writing the classes. Writing 2 different classes is of inheritance. Okay. Now let us start from the first. Talks about the string. Or let us first take the last one, that is about the classes. Question number 3. Okay. Now here, develop a class called frog with the following specification. And you have to write a class called frog. So you can directly write public class frog. Public class frog, which has, the class has 2 private instance variable in position and string status. So write 2 private instance variable in position and string status. So you directly write here private int position and private string status, both given over here, position string status. The class has 0 argument constructor that set the value of the instance variable to their default value. Default value we don't know, either we can set as 0 or we can set as null, whatever we want. Okay, because it's not given over here, we can take any default value. So you write a constructor again, which is same as class name. Name of the constructor is same as class name, and it is public, no return. So a public frog, no arguments, open the bracket, position is equal to the position of the frog. Let us say it is 0, and status is equal to, let us say, null. It can be any default value, and close the method. Then it says the class has getter and setter method for position instance variable. getter and setter method for position instance variable. It means get position and set position. Getter, it means get position. Setter, it means set position. So here, two things here. You write public get position. Get will return the value. So you write the return type of it is integer, right? Int get position, and it will just return what? Position. Return position. Close. This is getter method. This is getter method. And set. Yeah, it is same as getter and setter is nothing but get and set. No, both are same. Sometimes we say get method, sometimes we say getter method. Both are same. Both are same. So public, no, this is not returning. The set is not returning. So we write setting void set position of. You have to give the position to set. So I'll say int p. Then it is position is equal to p. This setter method. Then after this, it has a class has a method called move north that increment the value of position by 1. Move north that increment the value of position by 1. There is no return, just move north. So here you write public void move north and increment position. Position is equal to position plus 1, or you can say position plus plus or plus plus position. Okay, so any one it can be. You can say position is equal to position plus 1. Okay, or it can be plus plus of position, any one. Okay. So this is done. Then after this, the class has to override the toString method in order to return the representation as position phi status jump. Position phi status is equal to jump. So here you have to write the toString method as we did in for the last program. You have to write public string. It will return the string. So it is return type string. String of toString and return position is plus get position get position plus status plus status is, what is the status? There is no get status, right? So status is jump. So we need to use here plus or here status as jump and close the toString. This will close the toString. So this one will have over here something like this. Position over here, position status is equal to status. Okay. Then it is also having some equal method to compare the object. This one, yeah, this is the equals method which is given over here. The class has to override equals method in order to return true if the object has an argument equal to the object who invoked the method. Otherwise false. The method should compare the position instance variable of two objects only. You have to write the equal method which return true or false. So you write public boolean equals. So you write here public boolean equals. It takes the object. It takes the object. Now you compare the object's position of this object. So position is equal to ff dot position. Ff is what? Ff is a frog object, which is any object what you give here is assigned to the frog object, and then you compare the position of it with the current position, with the current object or the invoking object position. So if they are equal, it will return true. If they are not equal, it will return false. Okay, so this is the first part of your class. The second part, okay, the class inherits the frog. You have to write develop a class toad with the following specification. So you write a class called public class toad extends frog. Extends frog or what? The class inherits frog. So it means public class toad extends frog because of inheritance. Then after this, the class has one copy of instance variable for all instance objects called counter. Now one copy of instance variable is what? Is a static variable. Is a static variable. So it is here public toad extends frog. It has a static variable, so it is with a name called counter. With a name called counter. So you write here static int counter. This is called a class variable. It can be public or private. So it's private. So you can keep it public if it is available to all, or you can make it as private, which is available to the class. Okay. Then after this, the class has zero argument constructor that increment the value of the variable counter by 1. It should invoke the superclass constructor. So again, to invoke the superclass constructor, it is simply called super, and increment the counter, we'll just say counter plus plus. Increment the counter, we'll just say counter plus plus. Then after this, the class has to override the superclass move north by incrementing the position value by 3. So you have to again write the move north. So you write move public void move north, set position of get position plus 3, or you can say get position of plus 3, and then you set that in the next line set position. So this will call set position, the superclass set position, and the value is given as get position current position plus 3, and that value is given. Then toString, the class has to override the toString method in order to return the string representation of toad instance variable. The method should invoke the toString method of superclass. So it is just calling or invoking the super method. It's just say return super.toString. Public string toString, return super.toString. That's it. Will invoke the superclass toString method. Okay. So this is the inheritance program as usual you get in your exam. So this type of program will be having one program in the exam. Okay. It is sometimes it is 15, sometimes it is 20 marks. I think it will come for 20 marks this semester. The next question is of strings. Now this question is a bit complicated for you compared to the previous mock exam paper. Now here the class, write a Java class according to the following specification. The class has a static method count words of a string. So you have to write a static method. It has one argument which takes the string and does not return a value. There is no return type. So you write here public static void because no return, count words, it will take one string sent, or any variable if you want. Then the method count and prints the number of words in a given sentence as an argument and print each word in a separate line. Count the words and print each word in a separate line. So it is something like this. For example, I enter the line as this is easy. So how many words are there? 1, 2, 3. So 3 words, and print every word in each line. This is easy. Now how to find a word? See, after every word you find a space. A space. Now here we check for the space. We check for the space. If the space is found, before that it is a word. Increment the counter, counter plus plus, and print the word. Then move to the next, is a space found, then increment the counter and print the word. And move to the next, if it is end, it means it is a word. So it is space or end. So if it is end, so increment the counter and print the word. So this is what you have to do in the code. We will take the word as initially null, count as 0. We start character by character. We start looking into the word character by character. So we'll go this is easy. We'll go character by character to check for either it is a null space or I is the length minus 1, that is the end of the string, end of the line. Length is the end of this till here, the number of characters till here. So either you reach this point or you reach the space. If any one of these, then you got the word. Print the word is word, increment the counter, initialize from the new again word as null. If you don't get, if you are here or here somewhere, not in the space, not in the end, then what you have to do, you have to move to the next character. Take that character, add to the word, and then go to the next character. Take that character by character at I, add to the word string, go to the loop again. This is repeated till the end. Till the end, there is no space, and you find the end here. Till the end, there it will stop. And then you print the count of words, number of words. It says the class has a static main method. You need to ask the user to enter the sentence or a string to invoke the count words of a string, to count and print the number of words sentence in each word in a separate line. So you have to write the main method in which take the scanner, ask the user to enter a sentence, read it by next line, and call this method count words of the string. And this will do the job and print the number of words and the words in every line. Okay, this is about this string. And finally, you will have one program on files.
One question.
Yeah.
What will happen if we put static or
To this one?
Yeah.
No, it's for this static, some compilers will ask you to add the static.
The static is used for what?
Exactly, the static is used to make the particular method to be used inside the class, to be used by the objects of the class. Yeah, to make it as a one copy for the whole class.
If there is an exam, the case of midterm exam or final exam, and you didn't mention the static and related exam,
No problem at all.
would be
No problem at all. Okay, the question number 2 here in this exam is for the files. Now this is given here. a Java class that has only main method according to the following specification. The main method, you need to read the code that reads, you need to write the code, sorry, that reads the number of numbers from the first file, this file, this is read1.txt. Read the numbers, then write the numbers that are greater than 100 in the second file, that is write1.txt, each one in a separate line. Use try catch statement to handle any exceptions and display the simple error message in case of exception happen. You don't need to import any statement. So what you have to do, you have to write a main method, write a class, write a main method, and then you have two things. One is reading from the file and is writing to the file. So you have to use both read and write. So to read we use a scanner class, and to write we use a print writer class. So we mention scanner sc is equal to new scanner of new file of c slash read1.txt, or you can create a separate file object and then put over here. Okay. Then print writer, this is to write, pr is equal to new print writer of new file of c slash write1.txt. This is to write to the file. Okay. Now here you have to read the numbers. Here this is to read and this is to write. Yeah, different file. Read from the read1 file and write into another file write1. So what you have to read is the numbers.
We must first create the right one before we start to write down, right?
Yeah, before you write. Now we assume these files are present and we are going to write the code. Okay. Then how we can read the file is by using next int to read the numbers, using next int. Until what we have to read, until you reach the end of the file. End of the file. For example, if this is a file, read1, it has the numbers 10, 20, 100, 200, 300, 500, 600. This is end of the file. EOF, end of the file. Now we have a method called hasNext to check whether there is a next element or not, or next word or not, or next number or not. So there is a next token or not to check the method. So we'll check while sc.hasNext, while it is true that the reading file has a next token, then we say num is equal to sc.next int. sc.next int will take the integer into the number variable. If number is greater than 0, then print it to the file pr.println of the number, because it is said that all the numbers greater than 100 should be returned to the file. So you write to the file if number is greater than 100, and this is repeated again. This loop is repeated until there is no next, until it reaches the end of the file. Once it becomes false, it will come out, close the PR and close the reading, close the writing and close the reading. Now here use try catch to check for file not found exception or any other exception. So okay, so what you have to do is this code which is related to the file, put in the try block, and after the try write a catch exception ex or file not found exception, and just simply display a message, error or whatever message, system.out.println error. Okay, so this is how you read and write to the file. So with this this paper, that is for the spring 2014 and 15, the makeup one is done. So in the class today, what we discuss is the two papers. Those are the mock exam and the makeup one of spring 14 and 15. 14, 15. Okay. You have three more papers over here. This mock is same as this one. Okay. So you don't need to go for that. So you have two more papers over here, fall 2013-14 and spring 2014 and 15. This is the makeup one and this is the regular one. Okay. So in the same pattern you will get the questions. In the same pattern you will get the questions. Those are first you have the multiple choice, then you have some essay question, and then you have some to find the output and change the code. Okay, and then you have the programs, three programs. One, classes, that is inheritance. Two classes you have to write. Okay, in that you have to take care what are the variables, private variables, what are the constructor, and what is the getter and setter method. And then in the next class you have to use the inheritance extends, public class x extends y, and then you have to call the superclass constructor, writing to string method. Okay, and then you have, after that you will be having one program on strings, okay, and one program on files, okay. This is the overall view of your exam, the midterm exam will be going to be. So if you have any questions you can ask.